Hey everyone, hope you're doing okay. Wanted to talk to you real quick again about shade tolerance in your turf grass. I've talked about it before, the difference between your Bermuda and your St. Augustine, and it's pretty well known that St. Augustine requires less sunlight to survive than Bermuda does, but not all St. Augustines are the same. There's different varieties of it, and there's actually varieties that are more shade tolerant than others. So that's something you need to remember if you've got a lot of shade. Now they all require some sunlight, but as you can see, like in this property here, there's a lot of big trees all over the place in this property, so this yard gets a lot of shade. So your common St. Augustine is going to require 5 to 6 hours of sunlight per day in order to survive. In a yard like this, with lots of shade, we're definitely going to do some thinning out of some of these trees to let sunlight through. But we've recommended using a variety of St. Augustine called Palmetto St Augustine. That's the most shade tolerant of the St. Augustines. And that one's going to give you 3 to 4 hours of direct sunlight. That's what it's going to need to really thrive. Only 3 to 4 hours as opposed to 5 to 6 hours of sunlight. So, if you've got a lot of shade, or maybe you've planted grass and it's had some trouble growing in certain areas because of the shade, you might try out the Palmetto St. Augustine. You have to ask for it. You can't just go anywhere and just say give me St. Augustine, because there's different varieties of it. Specifically ask for Palmetto, and that's going to be the most shade tolerant of all the the St. Augustine varieties. It is going to cost a little bit more, but definitely worth it if you've got a lot of shade. So hope that helps. Have any questions about that? Feel free to let us know. We'll be glad to help you out any way we can.